2020 marks 50 years since Britain's last pre-decimals, and in this video snapshot we're taking a look at the last British pre-decimal sixpence. Let's begin by examining what a sixpence was. Well, as the name suggests, a sixpence was worth 6 pennies. There were 40 of them to the pound. Almost more than any other coin, the sixpence has a special place in British folklore. It's been celebrated in nursery rhymes, such as Sing a Song of Sixpence, and it even figured in the story about a crooked man who lived in a crooked house. This last story seems to suggest some issues of sixpence were easily bent. This ties in with the Scottish nickname crookie and the English nickname bender, both of which applied to the sixpence. With taverns in old times allowing you to drink all day for 2 pennies, a sixpence was more than enough to enable you to get thoroughly inebriated, hence the origin of the saying, going out on a bender. The sixpence is also considered a lucky coin, probably because it was reasonably small, so it was easily lost, but also of a fair amount of value to those who found it. The sixpence was first issued by King Edward VI in 1551. At that time though, a 4pence coin also existed and in fact had been in circulation for well over 200 years. However, the sixpence was more convenient and it grew in popularity so quickly that after just 10 years, the sixpence replaced the 4pence. The sixpence varied a little in size until the reign of King George IV, when it established itself at 19mm diameter and 2.8 grams of sterling silver. It retained this specification right through until the year 1920, when its silver purity was reduced to 50%, but the diameter and weight remain unchanged. In 1947 it ceased to be minted from silver and was produced from cupronickel. The very last sixpences for circulation were produced in 1967. Although it may surprise you to know that, such was its popularity, it was allowed to remain legal tender in Britain until the year 1980. Other interesting sixpences include those of King George III's long reign of almost 60 years. In that long time, the sixpence was produced only 6 times. The first was in 1787, and that coin is a type that was only ever minted once. The other 5 occasions were all at the end of his reign, from 1816 to 1820. This lack of production was not due to the unpopularity of the coin itself, but to a drastic silver shortage within Britain at that time. The Queen Victoria sixpences released for her Golden Jubilee in 1887 are also of great interest. These are often known as half-sovereign impostors. This is because the design on the sixpence was the coat of arms, the same design that was on the half-sovereign of the same year. Both coins were about 19mm in diameter, which led to unscrupulous individuals gold-plating sixpences and passing them off as half-sovereigns in the dimly lit taverns of the day. After just a few months of production, this first designed sixpence of 1887 was ceased, and a new design was released from that point onwards, with the value 6pence shown in words. The very last sixpence of 1970 is also special. With Britain changing to decimal currency in 1971, and the sixpence having no place in the new decimal system, the 1970 issue was never put into circulation. It was only minted to a very high standard of quality known as proof, and sold to collectors as part of sets. A result of this is that last year of sixpence, 1970, is also the smallest production of any sixpence of Queen Elizabeth II's reign. We hope you've enjoyed this brief look at the history of the British sixpence.